Hello, my name is Berktoriant. I'm also largely unknown as Jalmari Ruokajärvi and as the CEO of Dragon Dawn Productions. That's a company that has developed and published a few board games, such as this, and this. But I'm not here to talk about myself or my company, for this is a crash course video to the basics of Tabletop Simulator for Gloomhaven Into the Unknown mini-campaign players. Without any further ado. Most of the TTS camera manipulation is, as it should be, rather intuitive. WASD for panning, hold down right mouse button and slide the rodent left and right for turning the camera, mouse scroll for zooming in and out. You can also quick zoom by pressing either the middle mouse button or Z, very helpful for getting closer to the table and fast. If at any point you feel the need to reset the camera, tap spacebar. There's also two alternative camera modes, top-down and first-person mode. They suck. And all you need to know about them is that if you accidentally happen to switch to either of them, right-click empty space and get back to the third-person view mode ASAP. TTS has a slew of different options for manipulating the components, but let's stick to those that are the most important for us at the moment. All the components, more or less, can be manipulated with the same commands, but for demonstration purposes, let's focus for a moment on what we can do with this deck of cards. Let's start by picking it up. We hover the cursor over it, hold down left mouse button without moving the mouse at the same time, wait for a fraction of a second, and hey presto, we have picked up the deck. Aren't we awesome? To draw a card out of the deck, we do almost the same thing. Hover, hold down left mouse button and drag the mouse right after clicking, and boom, we drew a card. Now we want to see what's on the other side of the card we just drew. We could either use this stupid right click menu, or we can press F key to flip it. We can also flip the card when we are holding it, but for that we need the hotkey. Try to adapt the use of the hotkeys as soon as possible. While they are largely not necessary, they are a massive quality of life improvement. Just about everything can be flipped, including the table. The only unflippable things are the locked components. Locking a component blocks the interaction with that set component until it is unlocked. Until then it'll stay put regardless of what you do. You can lock any component by either using the stupid menu or by pressing L. The stupid menu and L also unlock the locked components, like so. Now that the card and the deck are unlocked again, we can try to rotate them. Once again, we can use the stupid menu or the awesome hotkeys Q and E. You can control the rotation angle by pressing this button. You are bound to need that button sooner or later, if not for this mod, then for some other mod. Alright, enough of rotating. Let's put the card back on the deck, give the deck a shuffle, stupid menu, blah blah, or you can press R, which stands for randomizing. For a deck, R shuffles, for a die, R rolls. And for some other components, R does, this. I don't know what that's about either. I suppose it's for picking underneath a component? Maybe? When you load this mod, you'll see something like this. Before you do anything else, ask yourself, am I playing solo? If the answer is yes, do the following. Click your name at the top right of the screen. Choose Change Color and choose the black color from the middle of the table. You're now the Game Master. And don't get cocky, that only means that you can see every hand on the table and thus play multiple characters if you so desire. Hands, by the way, are these rows of floating cards. I've set them up ready for you. You're welcome. But what about you who has friends to play with? Well, you should also do the same and pick a color. The characters set up on the table are color-coded, so pick the hero you like and choose the color accordingly. Now, only you can see your hand, and for others, the cards in your hand are hidden for as long as they are kept in the hand area. Flip the cards around before moving them off the area to keep the face of the card hidden for a while longer. Alright, grasshopper. Now let's get to the interesting part. To improve the readability of certain components, you can hold down Alt and mouse hover over the thing you want to get a closer look at. You can also hold down M for this handy magnification glass thingy. Alt Zoom is the hotkey that is easier to find and always under your thumb, but the more I've used magnification, the more I love it. Maybe I'll reconfigure it to a more reachable location for myself. You may select multiple objects at the same time by drag selecting them. Hold down the left mouse button and draw a box around the components you want to select. The other handy way to select multiple items is to left-click them one at a time while holding down Ctrl. When you have multiple items selected, you may manipulate all of them with the basic manipulation controls. This is great, for example, for selecting 2 cards from your hand, flipping them over in the hand area and playing them on the table. Just remember to place the other card over the other so that there's no question of your initiative number. If you're planning to flip the cards while they are like this, just remember to flip them over one by one. This ensures that they don't switch places and give you the initiative number you didn't want. This is one of the weird TTS quirks, just thought that you should know about it. Another one of those quirks relates to locked items, and this we can use to our advantage. If you want to turn the enemy stat sheet, unlock it and leave the envelope locked. Use the rotation keys on the sheet, and what happens wouldn't make any sense whatsoever in real life, but hey, we turned the sheet without disturbing the dice and the envelope. This is also pretty neat. If you ever have a mess on your table, select the mess, pick it up and give your mouse a shake. If they are cards, they collect themselves into a deck. Well, most of the time at least. So, drawing cards to your hand one by one, eh? That can be a bit of a drag, so try this. Hover the cursor over the deck and just type the number of cards you want to draw to your hand. Really handy for resting. Just remember to lose a card. For the short rest, after giving the discard deck a shuffle and before drawing them into your hand, and for the long rest, after you've drawn the cards to your hand. However, be careful with this trick if you're playing solo, as the cards are drawn to the hand or hands that have the same color you have selected earlier. So if you play solo and use the black color, who knows where those cards will go? In most of the cases, not in the right place for sure. However, if you end up making a mistake, no biggie, there's undo and redo buttons up there. Ctrl Z also works for undoing things. Next, something extremely important for playing this TTS implementation of Gloomhaven. Pay attention. Each monster standee has a number which you can see by hovering your mouse over them. This number corresponds to a segment on the monster's stat sheet's envelope. In this TTS implementation of Gloomhaven, the remaining monster HP is marked by the value on the top side of a die, which you can also see by mouse hovering over it. If at any point a monster takes damage, you need to turn the die. Rolling it to the right side works roughly 1 time out of 20. Ain't nobody got time for that, so either change the value of a die incrementally with the rotation commands, or you can type a number to turn that side up. Once you hear the imaginary ding sound, your character gained a level up, and you may have to look for some specific cards from these decks. For this you can use the stupid menu for choosing the search command. This lists all of the cards in the deck and allows you to cherry pick what you want. The components in this TTS mod are largely where they're supposed to be, and the necessary decks are shuffled right after the mod is loaded. The remaining setup consists of following the scenario page, link in the Steam Workshop description, for placing the standees. Each enemy icon in the scenario PDF has 3 color-coded symbols for the 2 characters, upper left, 3 characters, upper right, and 4 characters, bottom. If the symbol is black, it means that no standee is placed for that player count. White means a normal standee, and a yellow means an elite standee. These colors correspond to the bases of the standees and the normal and elite sides of the monster stats sheets. In the beginning of the first scenario, your level 1 character has 30 gold to buy items with, right from the get-go. I recommend doing this by right-clicking on the item deck and using the search command of the stupid menu. The cost of the items is the number in the middle right on the face of the card. Pick a few, one or none, that tickle your fancy and place them on the table edge to mark that they are now among your usable resources. Also, don't forget to draw 2 battle goals and pick one. The type A number draw trick works for this. And that's it, you're ready to roll. After completing the scenario, follow a link on the Steam Workshop description for the character sheets and save your progress for the next game session, marking any experience, gold, check marks you earned from the battle goals, and any other stuff the scenario page says that you get for completing it. The campaign is persistent and the changes you make to the decks carry over from one scenario to the next, so keep those sheets up to date, so that you can rebuild your hand and modify your deck again every time you load up a new scenario and keep the progress. And in the off chance that you run out of time in the middle of a game session, TTS also supports saving and loading. I believe that's all I had to say. Hopefully there was at least something new for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Consider using either the thumb up or down button on Steam Workshop and or YouTube, and most importantly, enjoy the Into the Unknown campaign. Bye!